Hi. So one another difference in New Code NLP and Classic is the utilization of unconscious signals, and that's one of the very important process which has been developed by Dr. John Grinder a lot in New Code NLP and also been utilized very well with calibration skills. Now, what is this unconscious signals and how it works? Let me tell you, I have utilized myself personally unconscious signals for many things. For example, I utilize it for my physical health. I recovered from my issue of my backache. I recovered from my issue of my heels pain. I recovered from my issue of gastritis. I recovered from my issue of migraine as well. And I utilized signals to a very deep, greater extent with the process and being trained by Dr. John and Michael and Carmen, being practiced really quite deeper. It can really help, utilizing the processes of unconscious signals can really help heal you in any kind of a physical health. And I am not saying it that you would not need any medication. That's not the idea. I'm not saying that from tomorrow stop taking the pills. That's not what I meant. With the processes of unconscious signals, the capability with which you would be able to accelerate your healing process internally would be far, far, far faster, better, and very clear for you to know that what are the next steps for you, and it just does a very deep magic. Again, not to be said but to be experienced is the core. Let me also talk about in a simple layman language what these signals are. What am I referring to? So these signals are exactly or not exactly like intuition, though when you receive an intuition, some people might receive a sound, some people might receive a sensation. However, what I'm talking a little more deeper than intuitions. When you receive an intuition, sometimes you listen to it, sometimes you don't listen to it. And you follow the intuition, it gave you a right result. You follow the intuition, but then it did not give you a right result. However, in both of the intuitions, are you able to identify the difference between intuition 1 and intuition 2? Are you able to identify the difference? What kinesthetic sensation actually came in when the intuition was correct? And that kinesthetic sensation is a deeper work which I'm talking about here in unconscious signals. It's a very deep process which we train you, teach you, and the way you would decode by practice, and practice, again repeating John's word, the way you can decode yourself using signals. You would be able to identify your signals as your, hey, you know what, this is not what I, what I want you to do. It's very, it's based on how can you calibrate your signals kinesthetically as a sensation in your body. Now, I'm not saying that you would go back and, have these signals, okay, can I do this, can I do that, can I do this, can I do that? But then the relationship with your unconscious would go so deeper that at the end of it, you just know, your unconscious just know how to do it, because the process at the unconscious level is very deep. Signals are there with everyone. It's just that the ability to recognize that this is the kinesthetic sensation which I cannot reproduce myself. That's one of the definition as well, which you can notice. So one of the fact which I want to tell you also is signals are not something which you can recreate by yourself. If it is, that's not a signal. Signal is something which is a kinesthetic sensation and it is involuntary. It happens, it comes and it goes. It's not the one which you can create. If you can create the signals by yourself, that is not a clear signal. So that's also we test in the new code, and we do a lot of work using signals to help you achieve your goals, whether it is physical health or whether it is improving one of your skill sets as well in your office, or working on any specific short-term or a long-term goal utilizing your signals. There is more depth inside it. And how do you get to know the depth? Practice, practice, practice New Code NLP and coaching processes with us. Thank you.